and welcome to my channel. I am Zodiac Bandit, and today I want to be going over the best betrayal from a guest character or guest player in Critical Role. Now, there's only been a handful since Critical Role started, and I do want to go over all of them, the ones that I would consider to be betrayals, but there are two major ones, and everyone knows which ones those are. Those, in my opinion, are the best ones. So, without further ado, spoilers, for obvious reasons, spoilers ahead for all campaigns, so there you go. Spoilers. Click off the video. So when I say guest betrayal, some of you have two in mind already off the top of your heads, I'm sure, of which we will talk about shortly. But first I want to talk about some lesser known ones, or ones that some people might not consider them and some might consider them betrayals. The first one being of Garthok, who was a member of the Clasp, a half-orc that Vox Machina met after the attack from the Chroma Conclave, and he was a member of the Clasp. He sort of gained allyship with them as they were moving through the city of Iman, but eventually, after they went their separate ways for a while, they would see him yet again when the Clasp and Vox Machina were trying to come up with some sort of deal to work together to help people out during the Chroma Conclave, and Vox Machina didn't like their deal, so they sort of became enemies and rivals a bit, and Garthok sided with the Clasp. Obviously, he was going to stick with his group, and some people might see this as a betrayal of friendship or, allyship, but he's just dealing what he has to do because he's a part of the Clasp. The other one is more of a joke, and that is of Keg's betrayal that somehow led to Mollymock's death. Simple as that. It's a joke that a lot of people would put out there as a betrayal of the fan base and a betrayal of Mollymock. So I just want to put those two out there as some might consider to be betrayals, and some might be jokingly saying Keg is a betrayal, and some might be serious about it. And there is one more smaller betrayal, and that is of you. Now, with you, there is a sense of betrayal, but there was kind of a lesser one than with the other two that I'm going to bring up later. And that is, we didn't kind of get any feelings that they were just a bad person or anything like that. We just thought they were weird. When they were hitting on other players, they were trying to sort of interject themselves into relationships. A lot of people didn't think that there was anything weird or terribly suspicious about it. There were some who thought it was, suspicious. But not everyone said that this character is an evil character and is going to backstab everybody. But this character, when you did this, sort of just happened out of nowhere. And to this day, hasn't really left that much of an imprint on things. It has left a minor sort of bad taste in everyone's mouth, which was a little bit of, we don't trust too many people. But the next time a cast of guests came along, they just trusted that group anyway, so it didn't do too much as far as trusting people they don't know. And yeah, it didn't leave as much of a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth, or it didn't do as much as a betrayal as the other two that I'm going to talk about next.
The hand did come off, actually. The body vanished, but the artifact still remains behind.
Then it's time to destroy this thing once and for all. I kneel down, and I place the hand on the ground. And I raise my axe above my head, and I say a prayer to Tiamat. And I bring the axe down and chop my hand off, put Vecna's hand on, use my healing pool to heal, and teleport out. I'm sorry, it was just business. Till we meet again.
Wait, what?
Did we just get janked?
I think that actually works.
We just got robbed. We just got rolled. It's hard to get out of here, isn't it?
You guys watch
We just got
as
rolled.
Archon.
Pretty tight.
See you in the next campaign.
Fuck you. Oh my god.
Power. Move.
Oh my god.
So the clip you just saw was Archon the Cruel taking the hand of Vecna after Vox Machina and him fought to the death with Vecna, and he sort of just left with his hand the victor. He was the only one who sort of walked away from that fight feeling like a true winner because he accomplished his goal. He killed the rising god, he got the hand, and bam, he's gone. So this one was crazy because it was the second last episode of the campaign, and happened right when everyone was like, okay, cool, we finally won. We're going to be able to walk away with a major victory. Even though we're about to lose someone, it's victory. But then he goes and slaps Vox Machina in the face and takes the hand, teleports out, and is gone. And up until literally last week, we have heard fuck all about Archon. Literally nothing. Nothing has ever come up from any characters in the past or anything like that who have even referenced him. Until Keyleth in episode 68 said, simply, don't trust too many people. She's got experience in this. And she said sometimes it's more than just business, which sort of echoes in like a reverse sense of what Archon said, which was, it's just business. Meaning that in Archon's mind, he doesn't have any personal ill will toward anybody. In fact, he's worked with them a handful of times. But it's just business. But Keyleth took it fucking personally and very much did not like what happened here. And it still haunts her 36 years later in, current time of the campaign, which is rather cool. And up until this point, that's the only reference we have of what Archon did. Outside of Vox Machina, outside of Critical Role, outside of any of these campaigns, Archon has grown into this massive thing. It's actually kind of interesting what Archon has become. He is in D&D official material. He is in, I'm pretty sure he's in Descent into Avernus, which is kind of cool. There's like a stat sheet for him and everything. He's got official D&D minis. He's just really cool. And this character has been like effectively pushed into the Forgotten Realms setting of D&D, which is really awesome. So something from Critical Role, something from, not only from Critical Role, but from Joe Manganiello's own character in his own game has now become a literal lore aspect of what is, the setting of 5th edition, which is really cool in my opinion. As far as Critical Role, hasn't seemingly done too much as far as lore wise or as far as like implications on the world, which was someone taking the hand of Vecna. Doesn't seem to have done anything quite yet. We don't know. Something might happen. But as far as D&D goes, it's made quite a big impact and is really cool in my opinion.
Do I believe in the gods? And that what they do is good? And I did not.
What community was this?
That little piece of crystal, I left it on the ground when I stood up. I want to fire a vitriolic sphere at it right now.
As he answers that question...
Can we back up?
Not that fast.
Not that fast. You watch as Bor'dor...
Oh, first before I do this, where there once was a golden, impish, sweet little boy, I'm gonna drop that shit.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Fucking...
Still same guy, same guy, but the gold, there's flakes, there's cracks, there's gray underneath, and it's weathered. The eyes that were full of innocence are full of a sadness and a pain that you can only have. Orem recognizes it as a pain you can only have after having suffered great loss. And he's finally stands up to his full 6'4.5" height.
On Tinder.
He basically looks fucked up. He doesn't look like, if you saw this guy. Okay, so, and before I do it, I also say, no. I'll say it after.
Okay.
And I'll do it.
As you all begin to go for whatever reaction you have, this small orb of green, condensed, vibrating magical energy fires towards the center crystal.
I did cure all your wounds before I did this, though. Let the record state.
Not
And
mine, I wasn't in that
splashes
radius.
out a massive blast of arcane acidic liquid that splatters towards all of you. I need all of you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
That chemistry still exists.
The real damage.
What's the total?
27.
Okay, so coming around the table here.
16.
What's your spell DC?
Which one is it?
You want me to help you as you assassinate me? Now?
It is, it's 16, so you succeed.
I succeed. So what, that's half?
So it's 26, you take 13 points of acid damage, Lava.
Alright.
I fail.
So you take the full, was it 27 you said?
Yeah, 27.
27 points of acid
I
damage.
look you in the eyes, and then you see the life leave my eyes, and I pass out.
Oh, no!
Prism falls
Prism's
unconscious,
down.
the acid still burning into her flesh.
17.
17, so you take 13 points of acid damage. 13 points of acid damage.
21.
13 points of
Okay,
acid
and I
damage.
yell, I saw you. You killed my friends at Marquette. You were there.
I'm jumping full speed.
I need
at
everyone
this
to roll
one while
initiative now.
What? Were you? Oh my god!
And lastly, I have to talk about Bodor. He is, in my opinion, the quintessential betrayal. The best betrayal in any Critical Role campaign thus far is Bodor. The effect that it's had on the players is insane so far, in my opinion. It is what drastically is pushing certain characters in certain directions. And everything that happens sort of surrounding it. First and foremost, he nearly killed Prism during this, which is insane. Like, the fact that one of the other guest players killed another guest player would have been insane and fun and new and would have been shocking. And to have someone die right at the 10th hour, everyone was about to get away, and now Prism's journey is cut short, would have been terrible. Would have been brutal. But luckily it didn't happen. It also showed a different side of Ashen and sort of the beginnings of the Ashen character we're seeing now, of someone who thinks that they need to be the best they have to be to win this day and to defeat the Ruby Vanguard. Orem showed a more vicious side of things. He has now shown that this betrayal from this character and betrayals from previous characters, mainly you, has left a bad taste in people's mouth of who they, or in their mouth, that they can trust, and at any sign of distrust or, evil, gotta execute them. Because Orem was the one that gave Laudna the nod. And when it comes to Laudna, she now has Delilah back, which is insane. The fact that Delilah has now returned, or seemingly returned, and that heartbeat is returned, is terrible. It is so much work was done to get rid of her, and the hold that was on Laudna means that if they ever try to revive her again, the potential of Delilah coming back is there. And the same problems that they had in Whitestone may return, where when they go to get someone else to help them, they likely won't, and Pike won't be able to revive them because, well, shit, there's Delilah, that's a problem, I don't want to revive her. So this whole Bodor thing has truly changed this cast, and in Laudna's specific position, she's potentially doomed to die again and not be revived without having to do something else drastic to return her to this realm without Delilah. But she doesn't want to get rid of Delilah because she sees it as a powerful source. So we're now stuck in this purgatory of what should we do with Laudna because of Bodor. Because of Bodor's actions and a handful of other things that sort of led into her sort of getting pissed off. But Bodor is the one who pushed her over the edge and has truly changed half of the Bell's Hells and has made them a bit more jaded towards certain things. Orem and Ashen question if the gods are good. Laudna full out doesn't believe it. She thinks that they're bad and they shouldn't do anything at all. Ashen is closer to that side than Orem, but Orem is a bit more open, but is very much distrusting of what the gods are saying, and it's all because of everything surrounding Bodor and the actions that Bodor did while they were with them and the actions they did while they were with Bodor. And it's really interesting, really cool, and I think Bodor personally has the best betrayal because of everything that it's done to the cast. So, which betrayal do you think is better? Archon, or do you think Bodor is better? I can see someone liking Archon more if you're a big fan of the 5th edition lore and the setting lore of Faerun and the Forgotten Realms, and you very much like the influence that's happened there. But if you're more of a Critical Role fan than a D&D fan, I can definitely see why someone prefers Bodor like me. I mean, I'm a huge D&D fan, but I prefer my own personal setting, so the Faerun setting isn't necessarily a big deal for me. That's why I prefer Bodor. But I could definitely see someone else liking maybe use Betrayal as much too. I personally don't think it has any impact so far, unless that character returns in some fashion or has been sneaking around because they're a changeling. That would be cool and interesting. But even when they went to the Feywild, nothing happened. She could have reported back to them about what they were doing, their movements, and it didn't happen. So it seems that she's had very little impact so far on anything, because she works with the Unseelie Court, and the party literally attacked the Unseelie Court, and 0 issues have come from this. So, who knows? Tell me what your favorite is down below in the comment section, and I will see you guys on Thursday for the recap of episode 69. We're finally here. Very nice. Peace.